Welcome to Pilates. My name is Katy Mair. We're going to work on our abdominals and our obliques and make ourselves nice and strong. So let's get started. Spread your toes out, bring your feet a little bit narrower than your hips, slide your kneecaps up and firm up your thighs. And I want you to squeeze into the bottom of the buttocks, draw the tummy in so it's nice and flat, and then draw the spine up. So lift your ribs up so your spine lengthens, and then shoulders to ears, roll them back, draw them downwards, and lift the top of your chest. But keep your ribs nice and flat and the tummy firm. All right, tuck your chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck, so crown of the head lifts up to the ceiling. So you're nice and long in the spine. Now we're going to start to focus on our breathing. So what we want to see is the ribs expand out front, back and sideways. And a good way to check is to put your hand on your rib cage. So let's breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. And I want you to get a really good sense of the ribs collapsing downwards and inwards. Breathe in through the nose, expand those ribs right out. Breathe out through the nose. Let those ribs collapse downwards and inwards. Let's try our Pilates breath. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let those ribs go downwards and inwards. It feels a little stronger now, doesn't it? Let's breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, let's create a diamond with the thumbs and index fingers and place it over the navel, with the fingers just on the lower abdominals. Let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Draw the tummy in so it's nice and flat. Remember to keep your thighs and your buttocks firm. That's it, lovely. Let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just purse your lips to let that breath go out slowly. Bring your arms to your sides and let's take a deep breath in. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Take a big stretch. Let the rib cage open up, the spine lengthen, the sides of the ribs stretch, and breathe out. Hands to sides, chin to chest. Scoop the belly under, slide your hands down your legs. Let the upper body hang really loosely down and move the weight in the middle of the front feet. Chin to chest, head hangs down loosely. Breathe into your back. Let's try 3 more breaths. Let's breathe in, hands on shins. Breathe out, skip the belly under. Just squeeze the bottom of the buttocks, push the hips forward, lift the shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards. Let's breathe in, reach the arms up again. This time link the fingers, palms go up to the ceiling, stretch up as high as you can. Feel that nice big stretch around the front of the body. Big breath in and breathe out. Bring your hands to your sides, chin to chest, scoop the belly just under the ribs slightly. And keep the knees nice and soft. Let the arms swing loosely. Let the back of the neck stretch. So you should be getting a nice lower back stretch as well. Take 2 more big breaths into your back. And let's breathe in, breathe out, slide hands up, legs. Just squeeze your buttocks a little, push your hips forward, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest up. And let's lift our arms up again. This time link your fingers, palms to ceiling, stretch up. And then breathe out as you lower your shoulders down and look forwards. Breathe in, breathe out, bend to the side. Breathe in and lift. Now make sure you're bending to the side. Don't lean forward with your opposite shoulder. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's do that one more time each side. Keep your arms stretched out nice and straight. Don't bend your elbows. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in to lift and breathe out, hands to sides, chin to chest. Skip the belly under and slide the hands down the legs. Let the upper body hang loosely down. Swing your arms. And you can swing the arms on the torso side to side just to loosen up a little bit more into the sides of the back. And you feel each one stretch as you move from side to side. let's breathe in and breathe out. Slide your hands up your legs. Lift your shoulders to ears, roll them back, draw them downwards. Lovely. Now we're going to lift our arms up again and just reach your fingers to the ceiling. Reach up as you did before, and then I want you to slide your shoulder blades downwards, and if you can try to squeeze the bottom of the shoulder blades together. Now I'm going to turn around so you can see a little bit more easily what I'm doing. We're going to breathe in, reaching up, and if I move my hair a little bit, breathe out, draw the shoulder blades down and in, and you kind of widen your chest on the last little bit of the movement. Breathe in, reaching up, breathe out, draw the shoulder blades down and in. Now the important thing about this movement is you're strengthening your mid traps and your lower traps. This helps you reach your arms up. So let's breathe in, reach up, and breathe out, draw the shoulder blades down and in. Now we're going to do individual arms. So reaching up with your right arm, and then draw downwards and inwards. Let's do that again. Reaching up, and draw downwards and inwards. Try the other side. Reach up, and draw downwards and inwards. Let's try that one more time. Reaching straight up as high as you can, and then draw downwards and inwards. Okay, let's float those arms back down again. And we're going to do a little bit of balance. So let's just place the hands on the hips for the moment. Keep the top of the chest lifted, tummy in, and roll your right foot forward, putting the weight into the left leg. Tighten up the tummy, and let's breathe in, lift the knee, and breathe out. Let's tap it down lightly. Try not to put any weight through that foot. Breathe in, lift, breathe out to lower. And we're keeping the weight in the left foot. Breathe in and breathe out. This will also depend on how good you are at balancing. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Let's try one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, we're going to step forward a little bit. Now, we're going to bring our arms out to the sides, palms upwards. Now I want you to lift the top of the chest, keep the ribs flat, and your palms are upwards, but you're going to drop your shoulder blades down. So the back is holding your arms up, and you're not lifting your shoulders. So we want to have those shoulders drawn right down as the chest lifts. Beautiful. Now we're going to roll that right foot forward, tighten up the tummy, and we're going to breathe in, lift the knee. Breathe out, extend the leg, arms overhead. Breathe in, bend the knee. Now we're going to shoot that leg out the back. Breathe out. Now pause here, get your balance. See if you can straighten your standing leg. Now if you can't lift your leg up very high, it doesn't matter. And take one more breath, and then float that leg down, and bring your feet together for a little rest. Okay, let's lift those arms up. Breathe in, roll your foot forward, and lift. Breathe out. Breathe in, arms to sides, bend your knee. Breathe out. That's okay if you're a little bit wobbly. Stretch out, draw the shoulder blades down, tighten up the tummy. And take one more breath here. And float your foot down. We're going to try it one more time. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Extend the leg back. Okay, beautiful. Let's take 3 breaths. And float your foot back down again. Okay, we're going to try that on the other side. So let's put the weight into the right foot. Roll the left foot forward now. Make sure your balance is steady through that right leg. Okay, let's breathe in, tighten up the tummy, and breathe out to lower your foot. Breathe in, tighten up through the waist. You can put your hand on your waist to help remind you of what needs to do the lifting. We don't want those hips to overwork here. Okay, we've got 2 to go. All right, let's get the hands out to the side. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep nice and steady. Let's take 2 more breaths. And lower your foot down. Let's do that again. Now breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Shoot that leg back. Take 3 breaths. Okay, float your foot down. We've got 1 more to go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths. And float your foot back down. Okay, take a little walk with your feet to release them. And now we're going to stand at the end of our mat, look up the length of the mat, and just have your feet hip width apart. And we're going to do a nice big breath in and walk our hands out into a pike. So let's breathe in. Reach those arms up. Breathe out, hands to sides, chin to chest, scoop the belly under. Slide your hands down your legs, chest to thighs. Really try to get your chest on your thighs so you can stretch around the buttocks and the hamstrings. Palms on the floor. Let's take a walk out, 3 hand prints out into a pike. Now let your head hang down. We're going to walk those heels up and down and give them a nice big stretch. That's it, lovely. And now let's lower the heels down. And see if we can slide the kneecaps up, firm up the thighs. And we're going to press through the heels of the hands. So I want your arms nice and stretched. So stretch them out. No bent elbows, please. Stretch them out, and that will use your triceps. So we need to make those nice and strong. Slide the shoulder blades down towards your hips, just like you did at the beginning. And push through the heels of the hands again. So your arms are stretching, your tummy is drawing upwards with your hips. Let's take 3 breaths here. Big breaths into your back. Barrel out your ribs like we did earlier. Now rise up on the balls of your feet and come down to your knees. Okay, so we're going to do some cat-cow pose here. So let's lift our backs up. Back arch, breathe in. Cat arch. And breathe out, cow pose. Slide your shoulder blades down, lengthen your spine. Let's do that again. Breathe in, cat arch. And breathe out, cow pose. Slide the shoulder blades down, lengthen through the neck and look forwards. Keep those arms nice and strong. Let's breathe in, cat arch. Big stretch in the back and breathe out, cow pose. All right, now you might want to give your wrists a little rest. So anytime you feel tired, do rotate your wrists and give them a little rotation. Okay, beautiful. So now we're going to do some tricep exercises. So just placing your hands down on the mat again. And what we're going to do is spread those fingers out. Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips as much as you can. Don't have your hands forward. So if your arms look like they're on an angle, they're definitely not, your wrists are definitely not under your shoulders. Now that looks more like it. Now what we can do, if you have any issues with your wrists, you can roll up your mat and put your hands on top. And that will take some of the stress out of the hands. If you can't flatten your hands out, you can have them a little bit bent. Otherwise you can go on knuckles. If your hands are good, just palms firmly down. Now we're going to start off by just moving forwards and backwards. So let's move forward. Now can you feel a tightening at the front of your wrists? Keep your arms nice and straight and lean back. Now little fingers should be on the outer edge of the mat, so that should be the right distance with your hands apart. Now move forward again. Can you feel that nice wrist tightening at the front? Okay, and then move back. All right, let's move forward again. Now we're going to give a little stretch in those wrists. Now we're going to go downwards. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, then move back breathe in, move forward, like a little circle. And breathe out, go back, 2, 3. Now, can you notice that I'm not bringing my elbows out that way? So I want you to keep them in line with the sides of your body. All right, let's have another go. Breathing in, and then breathe out. So this is the part where you're using your triceps, the back of the upper arms. Let's go again. And last one. Take a little rest if you need to for your wrists, and you should be able to notice some work in the shoulder blades and backs of arms, so that's what you're targeting. All right, let's go backwards. Okay, so we go backwards, not too far. We're not trying to sit here. We're just going backwards a little bit. Okay, and then drop down. So you notice my elbows are going down, and then I'm moving forward, my body a little bit forward of my fingertips, then I'm coming up. Now some of you might be able to go quite low, and others may not be able to go very low. So if you're only going a little way, that's okay, as long as you're using your shoulder blades and the backs of your arms. Okay, breathing in, and then move your body forwards, breathe out. Now that's where it becomes challenging. So do challenge yourself, don't shortcut. Shortcuts can be okay during the day, but not during your Pilates session. Okay, let's do that one more time. Beautiful. All right, so you might need a little bit of a rest after that, so let's go into our shell pose. Sit on your heels, stretch your arms forward, tuck your tummy just a little under your ribs. Take 3 big breaths. Okay, lovely. All right, now we're going to do a plank. So I'd like you to decide if you're going to be on your elbows or your hands. So obviously more challenging on your hands and a little bit kinder on your wrists if you're on your elbows. So I'll go onto my elbows and you might like to join me. Now you want to have your elbows just directly under your shoulders and your fists pointing forward, or you can have your knuckles joined together. You can tap your knuckles together. Now, first of all, we're going to start on our knees. And I want you to slide your shoulder blades down your backs and inwards a little bit. So your chest widens like we did at the beginning when we reached our arms up to the ceiling. Now tighten up your tummy. Have your toes tucked under. Now some of you might just like to stay in this half plank position, and others might like to challenge themselves. So we can lift the knee, and I don't want you moving your butt up and down. This is not the work. This is not a plank, okay? So your butt stays at the same height the whole time. So let's lift the knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Tighten up the tummy when you lift the knee. Breathe in to lower, change knees. Breathe in, breathe out. So I want you to draw your shoulder blades down when you breathe out, because they're inclined to go up to your ears if you're finding this challenging. Now for those, let's do it one more time each side. Now for those who can do a full plank, lift one knee and then lift the other. Now if that's quite comfy for you, you're going to lift one foot. Now remember, no butts lifting. So if you lift your butt up, it means you're having a rest. I don't want you to rest. Breathe out. Now you can just point your toe, and that will be quite enough to move your foot, and you get some lovely exercise in the shin and the calf. Okay, let's lower that down. Come for a nice rest again. Definitely need a rest after that. So shell pose, and stretch the arms. Big breaths into the back. All right, now we're going to do some hip work. So the idea is we put one leg out to the side and try and line your heel up with your knee and your hand down here. You can turn it into a fist or your palm on the floor. Now you want to line your hand, your knee and your foot. So you're a nice straight line, and you want to squeeze your buttocks and push your hips forward. So you're opening up the chest. Now for some of you this might be quite challenging going on your hand if you have shoulder or wrist issues. So you can do the lying down version like this, okay? So otherwise, please join me. It's a little bit more challenging and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So hands down on the floor, squeeze your buttocks, hips forward. Now your top hand could go on the hip or you can reach it up to the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to point through the right foot. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Tap down very lightly. Now if you don't want to tap your leg down, you just hover it above the floor. Use your Pilates breath as much as you can to trigger that lovely abdominal response. 2 more to go. Okay, keep the leg lifted and then we're going to bring the knee to the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice and strong. One more. Now from here, I'm going to get you to kick your butt. So flex your foot when you kick, point when you straighten. Okay, flex. Okay, beautiful. And let's stop there. Lower the foot down, lower the knee down, and let's give the hips a little pat. So if your hips are quite fit, you probably won't notice that. Or if you were using the wrong muscles, of course, you might find it tight in other areas. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So hand down. Now let's make sure we squeeze the buttocks, push the hips forward, because if you don't do that, you're going to sit forward like this. And we don't really want to do it like that. We want to be nice and straight. Okay, are we ready? Okay, hand on the hip or hand in the air. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Find the squeeze in your hip when you lift. And one more. Keep that leg lifted. Now I'm going to do that knee to chest and shoot that leg away. Okay, keep the leg lifted and let's kick the butt. Now remember, flex your foot, kick, point, kick, point. Okay, let's lower that foot down, lift up and give those hips a little pat. They deserve it. All right, so we're going to take a seat now. All right, so hands behind the knees and have your feet hip width apart and make sure your knees, your feet and your hips all line up. So you don't want your knees, you don't want those knees inwards, you don't want them outwards. You want them nice and straight. Can you see how straight that is? I want you to do that. Right, hands behind the knees. We're just going to do some roll back so we can start warming up into those lower abdominals. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Tighten the tummy, roll back. Nod your chin to chest, stretch your arms. Breathe in, lifting up tall. Breathe out. Breathe in. Beautiful. Breathe out. Let's do one more. Now this time we're going to bring our hands forward. We're not going to use them at all. Let's breathe in, breathe out, roll back. Keep your shoulders nice and soft. Only use your tummy. All right, breathe in. You can lift your arms a little to help stretch your spine out and breathe out. Just lifting them up as much as you're comfortable to lift them up. Some arms go higher than others. Now this time we're going to go slowly to the floor. So I want you to use that tummy. Breathe in and breathe out, roll back. Now pause here. I want you to hold firmly around your waist. Breathe in, breathe out, keep holding firm, keep it nice and flat. Breathe in, breathe out, roll back. How's that going? Nice firm tummy. Breathe in and breathe out, roll back. You're not quite on the floor yet. Okay, let's roll down. Oh yes, that feels much better. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of abdominal work. All right, so let's place the hands behind the head and make sure that your elbows are just a little bit above the floor. So don't have them on the floor, just have them lifted to just say about 20% off the floor, or just in a bit of a diagonal. And the thumbs on the nape of the neck, not your chin to chest. So the back of the neck is lengthened. That sends a little message to the brain not to use the neck. And if you need to, walk your shoulder blades downwards so they sit very flat on the floor. I'm going to start doing abdominal curls. So let's breathe in, breathe out. Draw the navel down, lift up. Don't move your elbows. I don't want elbows going around the ears. Just keep them in the same position. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your tummy lift you up. Don't let your neck and shoulders do the work. Breathe in, breathe out. That's it. Really good. Stay with me. And let's do one more. All right, let's lift the knees up to tabletop now. Here we go. Tabletop. Now, with tabletop, I want you to keep the tummy flat. The lower back stays slightly lifted off the floor. Now, ideally, knees are in line with hips and feet are not up at the ceiling. They drop down so the shins are parallel to the floor, and that adds a little bit of extra weight for the abdominals to work. It makes them work harder. All right, so if you find that position for your knees is not very good for you, move them forwards and backwards and see the effect it has on your lower back and your tummy. Find the position you can hold your tummy firm and flat and your lower back stays comfy. Anytime you are uncomfortable, put your feet back on the floor. Let's do the same thing again. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's try extending one leg at a time. Keep doing the same ab curl. 2 to go. And last one. Now let's give those knees a nice big hug and take a little rock from side to side to stretch out that lower back. Right, I'm going to place those feet back on the floor again. I'm going to do oblique curls. So stack the hands behind the head, thumbs on the nape of the neck, walk shoulder blades downwards, nod the chin to chest, elbows a little lifted. Okay, so let's breathe in and breathe out. Bring your opposite chest to your thigh, flatten your tummy, work around your rib cage. Please do not roll side to side. That is not working your obliques very much. Okay, so let's try that on the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. Chest lifts to the opposite side. Not the elbow, please. No elbows. Keep them wide. Breathe in. Let's go down. Breathe out. Keep your hips on the floor. Do not lift hips. They should be glued down. 4 to go. Can we really feel that working around the abs and around the ribs, which are your obliques? All right, so let's lift the knees up. Back to that tabletop position. And remember, the shins are parallel to the floor. Tummy is firm. All right, let's go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and... All right, we add legs next time. Breathe in, breathe out. We've got 4 to go. And you don't need to bring your head to the floor. You can just hover it
If you need a rest, bring your head to the floor. Let's do 2 more. Okay, let's bring those knees to the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. Stretch out that lower back. Okay, place your feet down on the floor, and we're just going to turn our hands into that diamond again that we did at the beginning, and place the hands over the navel and the fingers on the lower abdominals. So we're going to do a little bit of pelvic rocking. So let's breathe into the belly, and we might just arch our back up slightly when we do that. Breathe out, flatten the tummy down. Now we're only flattening it so it's in line with the hips. That's like the Pilates breath we did when we were standing up at the beginning. All right, breathe in, expand that belly out, stretch it out. Breathe out, flatten the tummy. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to go deeper now, so breathing in through the nose, expand the belly. Now breathe out through the mouth, and this time I want you to flatten the lower back to the floor. Now, do you notice that your bottom of your hips roll forward, and you squeeze into your buttocks to hold your back flat on the floor? Now, if you can't flatten your back, just do your best. Breathe in, expand the belly, and breathe out. Flatten the tummy down. Drive that navel right down towards the spine so your lower back flattens, so you're nice and lengthened. Stretch that lower spine out. Firm buttocks. Let's do it one more time. Breathe into the belly. Breathe out, navel to spine, flatten it down, stretch out the lower back. Now keep that little squeeze in the bottom of the buttocks, and I want you to start to peel your vertebrae off the floor, but use your buttocks muscles to lift you up, the bottom of the buttocks. Give them a good squeeze. Don't worry about your thighs, they'll look after themselves. So lifting up. Now just check, you might want to walk your shoulder blades downwards and nod your chin to chest to stretch out the back of the neck. Now knees should not drop out sideways, they should draw inwards. The inner thighs draw in, and you'll find an extra squeeze in the bottom of the buttocks. Lift your hips a bit high. Can you feel that extra squeeze? Beautiful. Let's breathe into the belly, breathe out, rolling down, stretch out the spine, draw the navel down as much as you can to flatten that back. Stretch that spine out. Keep the buttocks firm. Now release your tummy and your buttocks. Okay, beautiful. Breathe in and breathe out. Navel to spine, flatten the lower back. Stretch out the lower spine, firm buttocks. Now let's peel the vertebrae off the floor. That's it, lifting up, lifting up. Beautiful. Adjust the shoulders, chin to chest. Now let's bring those inner thighs a little closer together. Squeeze the buttocks, lift higher. So if we got into the buttocks yet, we need to really work strongly there because our buttocks are a little bit lazy. So we need to make them work. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Stretch the spine out as you go down. Navel very firmly down towards the spine. Stretch it out. Keep the buttocks firm. Now release the buttocks and the tummy. Right, we're going up again. Breathe into the belly. Breathe out. Navel to spine. Flatten the lower back. Let's peel the vertebrae off the floor. Okay, right. Now we're up. Now I want you to release the butt without dropping your hips. I don't want your hips to go down here, all right? That's too low. We don't want this sort of movement. I know that you might do it in other classes, but today we're not doing that. Okay, so I want you to lift your hips up again. Now, I don't want you to use your lower back. I want you to use the bottom of your buttocks. And bring your inner thighs a little closer, squeeze your butt, lift it up a bit higher. So we're really working strongly. Now, then you're going to release your butt a little bit. So there's a tiny drop. Can you see how small that drop was in my hips? Now squeeze, drop, squeeze. It's like a pulse. So release, squeeze. That's it. Keep going. We want to go a little bit longer. Squeeze. Keep squeezing. Release, squeeze. Release, squeeze. Don't drop your hips. Keep up here. Keep squeezing the butt and releasing. This is how you get a nice strong butt. And if it starts to burn, it means you're working really, really well. Okay, beautiful. All right, we've got 3 to go. 2 and 1. Hold your hips up. Don't go anywhere yet. All right, if you do need a little break, let's breathe in and breathe out. Stretch the spine out. Tighten the tummy, draw it down towards the spine. Now, if you don't need a rest, you can stay up there and just continue squeezing and releasing your buttocks. Bring the knees to the chest and give it a little bit of a stretch out. So if you are challenged by your lower back and you're trying to strengthen up your tummy muscles, it's a good idea to have a break. So if you need a break, please take one whenever you have to. All right, let's place those feet down again. All right, so we're going to do that again. Breathe in and breathe out. Navel to spine, flatten your lower back to the floor. Stretch the spine out. That's it. It should be nice and flat on the floor with a firm buttocks. Peel the vertebrae off the floor. That's it, lovely. Adjust those shoulder blades. Walk them down, chin to chest. Try not to pop your ribs out. You don't want ribs popping. They need to stay flat. So squeezing into the buttocks, inner thighs a little bit closer. Firm buttocks, lift. Now we're going to squeeze and release one butt cheek at a time. So your hips are going to rock side to side. Now when I start, you should be able to see this movement in my hips. So release, squeeze, release, squeeze. Now you're going to find this, join me, release and squeeze, one butt cheek at a time. Now you might find one works better than the other, and that means that one side of your butt is working a lot harder than the other. So I want you to try to even them out by release, squeeze. Try to get each one to do its proper job. So you balance your body out and one side of your body is not carrying an extra load for the other. How's that going? Let's do 2 more each side. We should be just about wanting a rest somewhere around now. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's roll down, stretch out that spine. And let's bring those knees to the chest, give them a nice big hug again. Okay, a little bit of a rock from side to side. That's it, beautiful. So it's a lovely rest. It stretches out the buttocks, gives the tummy a rest, and puts us in exactly the right position for a pendulum. So we're going to bring our knees in line with the hips. Now if you do need to put your feet on the floor, please feel free to do that. Now shins parallel to the floor, tummy nice and flat. Now remember, moving your knees forward and backward to find that perfect position where your lower back stays comfy and your tummy's flat. Now bring your arms a little bit away from the sides of the body with the palms upwards. The palms are up so you can't grab the floor. So we want to make sure that our tummy does the work and our obliques. So let's breathe in, bring your knees halfway down to one side and breathe out, tighten up the tummy. And let those ribs bring you back to the start, okay? Breathe in to the other side. You only have to go halfway down, don't go the whole way. Breathe out. We really want to bring some real focus into this movement. Breathe in to the other side. Breathe out. Can we feel that tummy draw down and the ribs go downwards as they did while we were standing up and breathing? It's the same movement with the rib cage. Breathe in, breathe out. That's it, let's keep going. We feel that lovely movement around the waist. Nice strengthening in the tummy. Okay, we've got one more each side. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, now we're going to reach our legs up. Some of you might like to have bent knees. If you've got tight hamstrings, the knees will probably be bent. But if you can, why don't you join me in trying to stretch your legs up to the ceiling? So you're going to point through the toes, slide your kneecaps up, firm up your thighs, tighten your tummy down so it's really flat. Has to work a little bit harder when you stretch your legs out. So it's good for building up those abdominals. All right, we're going to do the same movement with stretching our legs. Are we ready? Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Try to stack your legs above your hips. Try not to have them diagonally towards the floor. We want to make sure that we're not putting too much strain on the lower back. We've got 2 more to go. So the legs are just a little bit heavier when they're up to the ceiling. Okay, let's give those knees a nice big hug. Take her up from side to side. Stretch out the lower back. So your tummy needs to be nice and flat to help flatten the lower back down. All right, now we're going to roll like a ball. If you don't wish to do this, just remain seated or watch us, and let's try and do a roll like a ball. Okay, so hands go behind the knees, and let's lift the head up. And we're going to lift the torso up too. So flatten your tummy down, relax your shoulders, chin to chest. Now you want to keep in the same position all the way down and all the way up. Okay, let's get the legs moving. Breathe in. I should say breathe out here. Now you're going to breathe in and roll back. Only to shoulder blades. Breathe out. Don't tap your toes down if you don't need to. Now it's not a fast movement, otherwise you're using momentum. It's a slow movement where you're using your abdominals. So let's try that. Breathing in, breathe out. So if you flatten out your lower back, if you straighten out your back, in other words, you look at the ceiling when you go down, you will get stuck there. So you won't have that nice roll. All right, if you think you've mastered that, why don't you extend your arms forward and don't hold your legs, so it's a little bit more challenging. Okay, let's breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Still a nice control. Let's try 2 more. So it's all about your abdominal strength. Now, for those who think that was quite comfy and easy, I want you to try the seal. Now I'm going to face forward to show you what the hand position is for this one. So dive your hands underneath your shins, your calves I should say, and have your feet together and just place your hands on top of your feet. Okay, so now we're in this position. We're going to be flapping our feet together when we're sitting up and when we've rolled back. So you do need to have some quite considerable control over your abdominal strength. Okay, so you need to control that roll. If you haven't mastered that, this is going to be very difficult for you. All right, so let's get in position. So what I want you to do is lift your feet up first of all, and let's take those 3 little claps, little seal claps. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Roll back onto your shoulder blades, not your head. 1, 2, 3. Roll forwards. 1, 2, 3. How you going? Roll back. 1, 2, 3. Roll forwards. 1, 2, 3. How you going? Have another go. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Let's try one more. 1, 2, 3. Roll back forward. Okay, let's place the feet down and let's bring the feet a little bit wider than the hips and relax forward. Breathe into your back. Okay, so let's take the hands behind the knees, breathe in and breathe out. Just walk the hands down the backs of the legs. And take a nice big stretch. And then release and roll onto your front. So I just tidy my hair up a little bit. So you're going to lay on your front and your arms are going to be by your sides, okay? Now the idea is, I'll show you the movement while I'm on my knees, but you're going to be doing it on your front. If you cannot do it on your front, you can do it in a kneeling position. So we're going to have the arms by the sides and we're going to rotate the palms. Now it's not just the palms, we're using the whole of the arm from the shoulder down to the wrists. So as we rotate the palm, we want to make sure the palms go up, palms go down. So it's forward and backwards in this position, but when we're laying on our front, it's going to be down and up. Okay, so you can see my whole arm is moving, all right? I'm not moving my wrists only. Some people just move their wrists. That means your arms are not working.
So you need to get the whole of the arm working and not shoulder blades, otherwise you have this kind of pumping action, which we don't need either. All right, so let's lay on the front. Arms by sides. Chin tucked in, forehead down. Now, lift your hands to hip height and reach down to your toes. Tighten up your tummy. Now, we're going to rotate the palms. Now, remember, it's not wrists only, it's the arms. So make sure your upper arms are working really nicely. Okay, upper arms working. Can we feel that? No shoulder blades moving around, just arms. So the upper arms should start feeling like they're doing something. That's it. Keep the tummy lifted, shoulder blades drawn downwards. Now, you should start to feel this in your upper arms. Now, we're going to lift our torso up. So reach your fingers down towards your toes. Now, don't squeeze your butt. Make sure you're using your mid-back muscles. All right, reaching the arms right downwards. Okay, so let's rotate. Palms up, palms down. Now, can you see my arms are still rotating and my upper arms are working? I'm going at a reasonably fast pace, so don't go too slow. Otherwise, you're not going to have a lot of activity in the upper arms. So we want to keep going a little bit longer. So how are we going? How's the back going? You're getting it working. Keep the tummy raised. So you draw your tummy inwards and that gives you the extra support you need. We're nearly done. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stack your hands, rest your head on top, and let's breathe. Okay, now we're going to just move down my mat a bit and let's extend the arms forward. Now, this is a little bit of back flexion. So tighten up your tummy, and I don't want you to tighten up around the buttocks at this point. Okay, so let's lift up, slide shoulder blades downwards so the shoulders are right away from the ears, and we're going to lower ourselves down. Okay, beautiful. Now let's raise ourselves up again. Okay, so shoulders down, tummy in. Don't squeeze your buttocks. So try and get a little bit of back flexion here. So stay at the height that works for you. So if this is okay for you, just continue doing this. All right, so slide your hands a bit closer. It's going to be a little bit stronger now. So can you feel the difference? A little bit higher, shoulders are still down, and we're lengthening through those legs. Straight arms. Okay, breathe in. Okay, beautiful, breathe out. Let's lift up. All right, lovely. How's that going? All right, nice. So let's bring ourselves down. You can slide your hands a little bit closer and lift up and see if that's okay. If that's okay, stay there with your hands. Now let's bend the elbows, lift one leg up. So one leg up and you stretch it out. Make sure you're squeezing your buttocks. Breathe in, lift up. Let's change sides. Lift the other leg. Lift up and change legs. Up and change legs. All right, breathe in now, 2 legs. Lift both legs up, all right? And lift both legs. Okay, now what I want you to do is lift your hands up and roll forward. Lift your hands up, roll forward. Place your hands down to lift up. All right, let's do that again. Release and go. That's it. How's that going? Let's try 3 more. Last one. Now, if you want to, you can try the last one with me. It is quite challenging, but have a go. All right, so we're going to release our arms, reach them forward. Are you ready? Breathe in and breathe out. All right, then have a rest. You only need to do about 10 of those, and you'll find that will give you a very good abdominal workout. All right, just move your hips
from side to side and take a little release. All right, let's lay on our side. Okay, so bend your knees, put your elbow directly under your shoulder, so that gives us most strength. If you put it out here, you're going to be working too much around your neck and shoulder blade. So under here is much stronger, and then lift your rib cage up. Okay, let's lift one arm up. We're going to reach up, gaze at your thumb, breathe out. Now reach under your waist, watch your fingers. So you want to make that quite a strong rotation. Breathe in, breathe out. Now this is our level 1. Okay, let's try level 2 where we lift our hips up. Breathe in, breathe out. Level 3, stretch top leg out so you're in a half plank. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. And you can reach just that little bit further. All right, full side plank if you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, lower those knees down. And we're going to swing those legs around. Beautiful. Okay, back on the elbow, on the other side. Stacking the knees up. Okay, let's breathe in and breathe out. Now, are you lifting your rib cage up? Don't sink down into your shoulder. Lifting up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Use that Pilates breath. All right, this time lift the hips up. Okay, extend the top leg. Breathe in. All right, full side plank. Last one. Okay, let's take a seat. Whew, how did you go? All right, so let's extend our legs forward. Sitting up nice and tall. And let's take one leg over the other and bring the hand around the knee and take a twist. So draw the spine up tall, tummy in, and let's twist. Take 3 more breaths. Okay, let's look forward, and we're going to just drop that ankle on the knee, and you can bend forward if you want to stretch out your right hip and the back of your leg, or you can join me by bending the knee, hands behind, and lift your spine up tall. So here we're getting a hip stretch, and to increase the hip stretch, you bring the foot a bit closer, but try to keep your spine lifted. Flex your foot, your top foot. Let's take 5 breaths here. Okay, lovely. And change your legs over. So the other foot over. Now lifting up nice and tall. Beautiful. And twist around. Keep the spine tall. Turn your head to look in front of your shoulder and take 5 breaths here. Okay, turn and face forward and drop your knee down. Now again, bending forward for a stretch, or you can bend your knee, hands behind, and we're going to lift the spine up tall. So as you lift the spine up tall, you get a bigger stretch around your hip. So if you're caved in, you lose it all. So you don't want that round back, you want to stretch up tall. Draw the shoulder blades down, nice and strong and straight through the spine.
Take big breaths. Can we feel that big stretch around that left hip? Keep your left foot flexed. Bring your right foot a bit closer if you want to make it stronger, but don't round your back. Okay, lovely. All right, so let's release that. Coming onto your hands and your knees. Let's take a nice stretch. So let's bring our right arm up and thread it under the left, shoulder down. You can take your hand on your back and take a few breaths here, some nice big breaths. Take your hand down, let's change sides. Other arm up, thread it underneath, temple down, and arm behind the back if you can. Hold your opposite thigh. Nice big breaths. Okay, let's lift up. So we're going to tuck our toes under, lift up into a pike. So slide your kneecaps up, firm up your thighs, push through the heels of the hands, take a nice big stretch. So we're stretching out the backs of the legs and the arms again. Shoulder blades downwards, tummy lifted, nice big stretch. Just 3 big breaths. And walk your hands to your feet, chest to thighs. Then let your upper body hang loosely down. So we've got that nice forward bend. Arms dangling, just swing them from side to side. Stretch out the lower back. You might find that you're a little bit more stretchy and bendy than you were at the beginning. Let's breathe in, breathe out, scoop the belly under, slide hands up, legs. Lift shoulders to ears, roll them back, draw them downwards, and face forward. Let's just bring our feet a little bit wider than our hips. I'm going to squat and take a deep breath in to finish. So squat down, big breath in, open up the chest, and breathe out. Well done. And thank you for joining me, Katy Mair with Pilates. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and press like. Look forward to working with you again.